Okay, so if I am little bigger or I have tried other routes and I've been
Tried other routes, now you want to start your own company.
Right, grow.
Why I want somebody to represent me? I will be in India once for all.
Right.
Like a IBM or somebody,
Right.
they want to only. The only one subsidiary is the easiest way of starting a company where foreign promoters are allowed to invest 100% in equity except in multi-product retailing, which is still under pending in Parliament. But single product or something is already allowed. Sorry, single product in the. So what happens is when you start your only one subsidiary, you don't have any restrictions. You can start your manufacturing facility of your own. You can invest in fixed assets, and you are also given a freedom under the various investment policies of different states, like tax-free holidays which are eligible based on your investments. The schemes tend to change from time to time. You are eligible as a EO unit for a free imports or a HTP units free imports, and you are eligible for tax, VAT refunds, CST refunds. All these which are eligible to Indian company which is export is also eligible for a foreign company for their investment they do in India. And all the taxation rules, everything is governed as per Indian Act. So they did not look at a foreign international taxation route here.
Okay. Does the transfer pricing apply here?
Transfer pricing again applies here also if it is export a parent company only or innovations to only parent company. But if it is to a different companies other than the parent company, for that product transfer pricing does not apply.
So if I build that
if you bring back
directly from India, it is fine.
Yeah, if you bring back to your
company, it's a problem.
parent company, it is a problem.
Okay.
And subsidiary company has got all the taxation that are applicable to India, like a VAT, be it a service tax, ban, or filing of ID returns. What is the basic difference? The Indian company pays a 30% tax, you pay 35% tax.
Okay.
But you will not pay 48% tax.
Yes, so in case of branch office.
In case of a branch office.
Okay.
And you are permitted to do manufacturing business also.
Okay.
And you can have your own people hired, own appointment letter issued, no need of anything. You can have your own office in India. And whatever the facilities that are available for an Indian company, you are also eligible for those as a only.
Okay. And can a foreign company buy like a real estate in India, like office space if they want, or they have to rent it out?
They have to rent it out. As of now, they are not supposed to. The laws, because real estate is under the pipeline, which they are allowing the equity now around 60% or 50%, but they can buy with the Indian company as a joint partners.
Okay.
Not alone.
Not alone.
And usually the foreign company, when they start off their business as a wholly owned subsidiary, still we can say that they can start with a common facilities, as I earlier told you, for an entire office setup. Unless they grow to a certain extent, common office, common accounting, which saves them a lot of cost.
Okay.
And including logistics, whatever you say.
So, typically how much will be a startup cost for say liaison office?
See, it depends on the capital and other government fee we have to pay at the actual. Okay. Other than that, for a liaison office, the total cost may come around 15 to 20,000 rupees. Other than the official expenses.
Okay.
Whereas for a branch, it may come around 35 to 40,000 rupees. For an Indian company, it will be around 25 to 28,000 rupees. For a foreign wholly owned subsidiary, around 50,000 max.
Okay.
Which includes certification charges, memorandum, articles, filing, everything until the registration and getting them a certificate of incorporation or whatever, even certificate of commencement to business.
Okay.